And I know, so Safespace, you guys have been going now for 2 years, about?
Yeah.
2 years. And what I love what you guys said, it's not training, it's life changing. I'm like, that's the best marketing phrase I've ever heard. It's fantastic. And you also mentioned on Mimi's podcast that what your mission is to take something mystical and make it something practical, you know, to demystify all this, like the airy fairy stuff around mental health.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, from when you started Safespace, you probably had a perception about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And now, unlike in business and personally, and now here we are 2 years later. Personally, you've gone to therapy, you have a new perception of mental health, but also in a business perspective, what has been the biggest learning for you, or what is something that has your perception has completely changed from when you started to where you are right now?
So Safespace started as a community initiative. We weren't a business. We never had aspirations of being a business or a social enterprise. We weren't about generating revenue. We were just about helping people. It was a noble cause. Brought together people who had, walked that walk, bringing together professionals that could talk the talk, and just creating this ecosystem that worked. So everything that we did is completely free of charge in the community. People would attend for free. Gorgeous Tanya at Tanya's Tea House would give the space for free. The professionals would give their time for free, and it just worked.
Yeah.
So at that point, I think my beliefs were everything had to be face to face. Because it's emotions, it's humans. We have to be able to be in each other's space. And that I think one of the beliefs were that what we were doing had to be, like I said, this noble cause, that we had to just bring people who were very passionate and make it happen. I think what we found out sort of throughout that process is, and this again, it was our mindset and people that surrounding us to help us kind of shift that mindset, is you can only help a very limited amount of people by doing things that way.
That's a good point.
And that you have to approach this and, as, an entrepreneurially, let's say, in order to be able to have that impact. And I think, we'd not really had our eyes fully open to the concept of social impact or social enterprise and what that meant, and how, you can actually do a lot with very little when you kind of bring everything together and resources, but put together a product or a package that you can sell, you can generate revenue through with the right target audience. So hence why we moved from having our community meetup group to then helping businesses and providing sort of solutions for businesses, because what does that do? It helps us to keep the work that we do in the community free, and it helps us to do even more of the work in the community. So it's always our why. It has changed, but it's at the core of everything we do. So we work with organizations to keep doing more of this stuff, and that's essentially our new ecosystem. And the more organizations we can work with, the bigger projects, the bigger brands we can partner with, insurers that we can partner with, we are open to partnership with anybody in that sense.
Anyone,
in order for us to be able to, everybody, in order to be able to pay it forward and put it back into the hands of the people that do need it, that don't work for an organization that's forward thinking, who aren't covered by insurance in that sense, and will be able to get this information for anyone else. Anyone else that's just, overwhelmed with information, and, there's so much that's out there on Google, but if we can help simplify that journey for a few more people, then our work here is done.
Yeah, I think you made a good point that you realize with the community meetups that they're great, but you're not going to be able to help as many people as you potentially could if you grew this to online and stuff, which this year I think has blown out the water.
Yeah.
And I like how you guys look at the work, you use the work you do to keep the essence of why this all started going. I think that's a really powerful thing, and I think it sticks to the why, like you said, the why of why did this all start. We just want to help people, and whatever they're struggling with their mental health, if they can't get it at work, we're giving them a place to do that. So I'm curious, how has, I guess, the community grown in that time? How, what has changed? Is it, I know it's probably a lot bigger than it was when you guys started. So just walk us through how that community has grown.
Yeah, so I think there's still people that are angry at the moment that we aren't meeting up face to face again, and that's never say never. We will go back to face meetups and supplement that as well when the timing's right. So obviously being called Safespace, you know, and while we're still wearing masks or while we're still kind of like sat 2 meters away from us, it makes like the dimension just a little bit kind of different. So once that's kind of out of the way, then that's definitely back on the card. So I think the people that are following us now, you know, still some diehard, like hardcore community members that have like come on this full journey with us, and really, you know, for us, it isn't about the quantity, you know, it's about the quality. So if I talked about this the other day, like really just going back through our database and looking at people who've signed up, and even if, you know, we did a campaign and only half of those people opted in again, we want to be able to have a quality message for where we're up to right now in order to be able to interact with those people. And again, I suppose that goes back to the marketing zone.
Exactly,
you know,
yeah.
So it's not about number of followers and all those things for us. It's about us being able to have quality interactions with the people that do follow us, and kind of whether it's that in a business sense, we're not going to be for everybody, like we mentioned at the beginning. So if we can be there for the people that need it, then that's what we're
to. No, that makes a lot of sense, because at the end of the day, you want to help the people that genuinely like want that help. You know, I guess you can spread the message as much as you want, but really helping the people who support you and who are champions of what you guys do in your community, I think is much more valuable to you. And again, it goes back to the why you guys started all this.